Super Wildcard weekend in the NFL is in the books. Who had the best performance of the week? And also, which team proved that they had no business being in the playoffs? We'll discuss all this and more on this week's edition of the Outta Bounds podcast. Hey, welcome to episode 32 of the Outta Bounds podcast. As you can see, the big three is not in full effect. Young blood Noah Austin, he's back in school for his last semester. Shout out to our young blood. So we hope to have him back very soon. But for right now, just your boys, me, Liddell the Fashionista, managing director here at Trade with Culture Magazine. And alongside me this week is the man in the middle, Mr. Donnie. Do not call me Donovan Wilkins. Also, 28, Mr. 28, because if you checked out Monday's edition of Tuck Talk, you find out that this man is not the age that he thought he is. He's actually almost an old fart, just like yours truly. So, Donnie,
Still,
tell everybody how you doing, bro, and give a recap in regards to that story, just in case some of our listeners for Outta Bounds have not checked out Tuck Talk. And if you have it, it's shame on you, because Tuck Talk is actually a great show. But Donnie, the floor is yours, brother.
I mean, like I said, I was signing up for something and I had to put in my birthday and they automatically made me 28. And I was debating that the whole day and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm having a good week right now. Things are looking up.
Ooh, do
Got a
tell.
lot of stuff in the works that I can't actually discuss yet, but we
Secretive
got a few
Donnie.
things to talk about.
But that's cool though. Make moves in silence. Like Lil Wayne said, real G's move in silence like lasagna. So
Yeah,
keep doing it.
exactly.
You don't know where that shit came from.
I do.
you know.
That's literally one of the only Lil Wayne songs that I like. 6'7".
Oh, I thought you were about to say that you know. So that
No,
you
no,
like.
no. I like a couple of the songs. There's a song that he did with Locks. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, there's
All
a
right,
couple songs.
let me ask you this sidebar. Basically, ladies and gentlemen, we go freestyle this episode. All right. So who do you think has a better catalog? Lil Wayne or Eminem?
What do you mean in terms of a better catalog? Like who has
Like,
more hits or who has better
I mean, his is kind
material?
of subjective, because basically, like, just off name value alone, you could easily end up on the top of the charts.
Right,
You
yeah.
know, so I don't want to go by necessarily that, but in terms of,
Uh,
like, let's say for instance, there's a versus Lil
yeah.
Wayne versus Eminem. Which catalog do you think go get the crowd jumping the most? Wayne's or M's?
Oh, I'm gonna say Lil Wayne. Obviously, because the hip hop community has something against Eminem. Not sure what it is, but in terms of who would win overall, it would have to be Eminem. His style and his lyricism is just out of this world.
I'll disagree on that. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you guys didn't come here for a debate in regards to, like, Lil Wayne and Eminem. But if you like a spin-off podcast deal talking about music, then let us
And
know
we can
down
go
in
in.
the comments.
We can
And
go in.
we could definitely go in. So basically, what you guys are here for is the sports content. You know, that's what Out of Bounds is all about at its core. Even though we could kind of go off every now and then, but it's all for, entertainment purposes. But let's get into best and worst from Super Wildcard weekend. Now, Donnie, I can understand. Like, when went to talk to you, discussed how excited you was. I basically told you, like, hey, like, the Eagles are in the playoffs, so you should probably be a bit more excited than what you are. But I guess you kind of saw the inevitable, and that's basically you got to get
What did
smacked.
I say? What has I been saying this whole NFL season? I'm like, I'm not getting my hopes up. Then they released a promo. Then I'm like, all right, I'm back in. And it's like I knew it was headed for disappointment. Like I knew we weren't going to beat the Bucks. And even if we did beat the Bucks, I knew we weren't going to beat the Packers. So like I said, it was nice for Jalen Hurts to get that one playoff game like in him and stuff like that. But ultimately, I didn't see us going anywhere. We weren't even supposed to be going anywhere.
That's
So
true.
looking on the bright side, we still have three of the three first round picks. We have a stellar wide receiver. Hopefully, we can get some better people. Get Jalen Regular off the fucking
Jalen
team.
Jalen Regular. Is that a nickname for him? Or you just fucked up
No,
his name?
I'm pretty sure I pronounced his name wrong.
I mean, that's because he is kind of regular, because just think about it. Y'all could have had Justin Jefferson, but you
Yeah, that's
drafted
that's what
Jalen Regular,
everybody's saying,
so
and that's just like the philosophy of
could have had
fucking
T Higgins, but you drafted Jalen Regular. You couldn't,
that's just
so
Philadelphia. I mean, we also could have had a bunch of players in the NBA, and it's just like we just our front office is trash sometimes. Like get in their own way, and like I said, I'm proud of the Eagles for getting where they were. It was nice to see them in the playoffs, see the city come alive. But ultimately, I knew how it was going to. I mean, everybody knew how it was going to end. So it isn't a big shocker. You go on like the our media or Reddits and accounts and social media channels. Nobody's really pissed off because everybody expected it. We just want fucking Jalen Regular off the team.
Jalen Regular. I'll say this though, Wildcard weekend was ugly.
It was.
There's a lot to pick from worst of the week. As for my best, I'm proud of my Los Angeles Rams. Like we handled business against the Cardinals. So shout out to the boys. We play Tampa Bay next week, and basically all the moves that we made in preparation for this moment is gonna decide whether or not basically hoarding all of our draft picks for all these superstars was worth it. Because we hoarded up a lot of picks to get Matthew Stafford. We hoarded up picks to get Von Miller.
Right.
Um, Odell basically came to us via free agency after he got waived by Cleveland. But we basically have a super team, so we did beat Tampa Bay earlier this season, but that was before we had Von Miller and Odell. So now both guys on the team, two former Pro Bowlers who are basically now essentially key role players on the team right now, which is
Mhm.
crazy to say because that just goes to show how loaded we are. We just
Right.
got Eric Weddle came out of retirement. He barely played last night. But when I say last night, excuse me, because this episode is being recorded Tuesday evening. It'll be uploaded on Wednesday afternoon. So at the time this recorded, it was last night. So we got Weddle. He came out of retirement for a Super Bowl run. We look good against Arizona, but to me, it doesn't really prove anything because the Cardinals, they are a young, precocious team. DeAndre Hopkins was out, and the team kind of fell off the cliff as soon as he got injured. So we'll see how good we actually are when we play Tampa Bay next Sunday. And
I
we'll have our
mean,
predictions for that game later on in our fourth quarter segment.
despite like a lot of the teams like shitting the bed over the weekend, no team shit the bed more than the fucking Dallas Cowboys.
Oh yeah, they definitely should set the bet, and I love to see it. I loved every minute of it because Cowboys fans are the most annoying fan base in the NFL.
Oh god. I mean,
But
they beat us twice, so the Eagles don't have shit to talk about this season. But
yeah,
shit, man, I feel sorry for that like fan
I
base.
don't. I don't. Every year, every year, oh, we going to the Super Bowl, bro.
Right, but it's like
Noah wasn't even born last time they won the Super Bowl.
like they do this to themselves though, so can't really have that much sympathy for them. But
you can't. Like
I
I said, I
mean,
don't.
Josh Allen looks stellar out there. Matt Stafford was okay. Patrick Mahomes was feeling like himself. So it's looking shaping up to be a pretty good run. So
Yeah, I must say I feel bad for Raiders fans. Even though it should not really have mattered because the referee had no business blowing the whistle, but rules are rules. And
feeling like there was
excuse
a
me.
lot of few errors going around this weekend. I
Yeah,
know Dallas was upset. I mean, that was Dak Prescott's fault, but yeah.
exactly. But getting back to the Bengals and the Raiders game, like Raiders fans have a the Raiders have a history of being screwed when it comes down to the playoffs. Like the Tuck Rule game back in 2001 against the Patriots. Now this, even though it was a touchdown, regardless, the whistle should never been blown, like I said. But rules is rule. The play shouldn't have counted. You know, and it's funny because our officiating crew is banned from refereeing any games the rest of the playoffs. So I said it was
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
It was a lot of
I
ugly
heard about
football.
it. I
It was a
heard
lot.
about that one.
It was a lot of ugly football, and I'm wondering if this whole expanded playoff format is actually a good thing because the seven seeds got obliterated. The Chiefs killed Pittsburgh like we all expected, and the
Mm,
Eagles got obliterated by Tampa Bay like we all expected.
yeah.
So I guess I can understand it. Oh, like it makes like the last few weeks of the season matter, but at the end of the day, like these teams had no business. They look like they didn't belong in the playoffs.
Right, yeah, exactly. I said we shouldn't have been there to begin with. So
Yeah. But in regards to my best of the week, like I said, I love the Rams. Like that's obviously one of my favorite teams. Rams, Ravens. Those are my two teams. But I don't want to be biased. I'm gonna give it to the Cincinnati Bengals. First playoff win in nearly what 30 years, something like that. I'm
yeah, yeah,
31 years
30.
old, so that's around the time that I was first conceived and all that. So shout out to them. And they have a great test coming against the Tennessee Titans. And I think that's a winnable game as well. So you never know. We could end up seeing the Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC Championship game. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
give
mean,
my best to the
I,
Bengals.
I was looking forward to the changing of the tide up there in the Northeast. The Patriots and the Bills. That was a really good game. And I think that cemented the Bills' dominance. Um, the changing of the crown per se, and
Yeah.
it's interesting to see where Belichick goes from here.
Whew. I mean, he's not helping the narrative that he cannot win without Brady.
Yeah,
He's not helping
yeah,
that narrative. Like, cool stuff for getting that team to the playoffs, but they definitely need more to surround Mac Jones with more weapons. So their free agency priority should be the one sign JC Jackson. Because they traded Stephon Gilmore to make room in their under the to get room in the cap to re-sign him. So I'll definitely bring back JC Jackson because he's a Pro Bowl caliber corner. And also get some weapons for Mac Jones. Like they need receivers like Kendrick Bourne, Jacoby Myers, John Smith, Hunter Henry, like that cannot be those guys cannot be the focal point of your offense. Like those are supporting players. So they need like a true number one receiver. And they had the opportunity. Like they could get Allen Robinson. I believe Juju Smith Schuster. If he did not sign, if I know he came back to Pittsburgh, I'm not sure if it was on the franchise tag or he got a new deal. But Juju could be out there potentially. Allen Robinson, like I said. Calvin Ridley, I'm here that the Falcons might be looking to move him. So there's the option. So
I heard rumors of him coming to Philly, but that was really early talk rumors.
who Calvin Ridley? I
Yeah,
mean, him and Devontae Smith, that'd be a nasty duo. That'd be pretty
definitely
good.
would. You could ship
Yeah,
Jalen out of here.
yeah, but yeah, man, that's my best. In regards to like, my worst, I'll give it to Kyler Murray. He looked like a deer in headlights against the Rams. Like basically, like there's one point in that game where Odell Beckham had more passing yards off of one pass that Kyler Murray had in that point of the game. Odell threw a 40-yard pass to Tyler Higbee, and Kyler Murray only had 28 yards passing at that point in the game. So first playoff game, I understand like playoff jitters and all that, and he did not have DeAndre Hopkins, who's a big, like I said, he's a big piece of the offense, but you gotta be better than what he was during that game. So I'll say my worst of the week is Kyler Murray.
Pretty good one. Like I said, I'm gonna stick with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. It was just shit show out there.
Okay, now let me ask you this in regard to Jalen Hurts. He got you guys to the playoffs.
I was answering this question last night with in the group chat, but go ahead. I know what it is.
He got you guys to the playoffs. Basically, I thought you guys were gonna win no more than 4 games. That's what I thought. You know,
That's what everybody thought. We thought
but
it
you
was a
got
rebuild season.
but you guys exceeded expectations with the dude. But with that being said, do you think he's a franchise quarterback long term, or do you think that the answer? I'll say this: this is a weak QB draft. This is a
Yeah.
weak quarterback draft. Like Matt Corral, who's basically towards ACL in the bowl game, he's one of the top prospects. You got Kenny Pickett out there. You got I forgot the quarterback from Liberty. I know his first name is Malik. He's out there. I believe Sam Howell is coming out of the draft, but he didn't look too good at North Carolina this past season. Do you feel like Hurts is the quarterback of the future, or do you feel like you got need to look elsewhere, whether it's in free agency or in the draft for a replacement?
I don't know. Um, I say within the next 2 seasons, he will be traded, most likely. Um, I don't know. It's unless he does something like spectacular within these next 2 seasons, he will be traded.
Okay, so you want to give him another year?
Oh, I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he deserves another year. I think he definitely does. But you said Hurst is your worst of the week, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The Eagles.
So remind me again, who's your best?
Best was Patrick Mahomes and Buffalo Bills.
Okay, all right,
It
that's well
was
deserved.
it was nice to see the villain finally taken down.
That's well deserved. All right, but let me ask you this now. Wait, who? Wait, hold on. Who's the villains?
Patriots. Everybody was hating them. Everybody hated them.
How can people hate the Patriots right now? Brady's gone.
People just hate what their history and reputation stands for.
Yeah, but they basically have shown that they cannot withstand that history and reputation without the GOAT.
I think people were just more excited to see that the Patriots lost, and this is probably the end of the dynasty,
It was over the moment Brady won the Super Bowl last
or
week.
the not the dynasty,
It was a dynasty.
the magnitude of what Belichick was, and how he had a firm grip on that conference. So I think people are just like finally glad that's over.
Well, the grip is gone. I'll be
Yeah,
the first to say that. Like, I think the Buffalo Bills, they have that on lock. Josh Allen is clearly the best quarterback within the division. So I think as long as he stays healthy, they continue to keep weapons around him, that defense sharp. The Bills, they might start to remind people of the late '80s, early '90s Bills when they had
yeah.
Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Andre Reed. So it's looking like and Bruce Smith as the dominant pass rusher. So they look like they're going back to those days. For certain. All right. So with that being said, let's move on to our second main topic. Well, our second segment, I should say, the pick and roll. Now, for those of you who did not catch uh episode of Out of Bounds 2 weeks ago because we was off last week, your boy had COVID. I'm still suffering from COVID, by the way. So I'm trying to push through this. You know, this is like my Michael Jordan flu game right here. So for those of you that are unaware in regards to like what pick and roll is, basically we ask questions in regards to like current storylines in the NBA, and we basically gonna decide whether we're gonna pick it or roll. If we pick it, that basically means that we're gonna pick it apart. Like I'm not with that. If we're gonna roll with it, like all right, cool. Like yeah, I agree with that. We just keep it moving. All right. So first question is this: basically, the Memphis Grizzlies are looking real good right now. They was dominant last night on Martin Luther King Day against the Chicago Bulls. Donnie, do you feel like the Memphis Grizzlies are a legitimate NBA championship contender? And also, is John Morant deserving to be an MVP conversation?
I do think he deserves to be in the MVP conversation. I'm going to hold off on saying the Grizzlies are something to be looked at, because last time I checked, they tend to fold. They always start off hot over the past 2 3 years.
No, that's actually not true. I gotta stop you there, Chris Broussard. they actually typically get off to rough starts and they pick up towards the second half of the season.
Right.
You know, and
I
that's how they
understand. Yeah,
always end up in a play-in tournament the past couple of years. But they've been pretty solid out of the gate.
right. And that like brings me to my point. Like I always hear really good things of, oh, the Grizzlies might do something this year, and then it ultimately falls flat.
They number 3 in the West.
Yeah, I was looking at it. They won. I think they won 7 of their last, I believe, 7 of their last 10 games. So they're looking good, and they're winning by like a lot.
Yeah,
Um, their
yeah,
lowest scoring points was the Mavericks, 85. But
yeah. My boys, we handled business
yeah,
during that game. Shout out to my guys, the Dallas Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? But second part of the question, Ja, is he an MVP candidate, guys?
yeah. He's sitting at number 14 in the league for points per game.
Oh
Um,
my God, here you go again with the stats, bro. Like stats do not tell the overall story.
look, man, I'm just reading. All right, I'm just reading it like you. I'm just
But
giving the
you talking
information
about
to the people.
but you talking about this dude is 14 and points per game. Like none of that shit really matters. It's all about impact, you know? What's his
Yeah,
impact on the game?
yeah. I mean, if you're talking about impact, then yeah, he deserves to be in that spot. As the race looking right now is the Joker, Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant, Rudy Gobert, and Joel Embiid as the top 5 as it looks right now. This could change. I don't know. He's sitting at number 10. Is that a good spot for him to be? I
At
mean,
number 10, according to who?
according to the stats. I mean,
Wait,
above him is LeBron James, Stephen Curry, James Harden, Chris Paul,
in terms of what?
the MVP race.
Oh, so you look at NBA.com shit.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's just that's just one person's opinion, you know. That's not like a guaranteed thing, you know what I'm saying?
I'm
I
also
look at it
looking
like
at
this.
Basketball Reference
Okay, that's a
to
good
pull up
source.
Bleacher Report. Yeah,
Bleacher Report, nah. Fuck Bleacher Report.
yeah.
I,
Fuck them.
I
I
should,
I applied a couple of years ago, and they denied me swiftly. So fuck them.
yeah. They can't recognize talent. That's why. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah, Donnie's one of the best journalists out there. Like,
them.
don't sleep on my
Shit.
guy. Don't sleep on
But
my guy.
like I'm reading these names and I don't know. He has some tough competition because nobody has been playing better basketball than Joel Embiid since the Christmas break. I mean,
I mean, they got smacked against the Wizards
oh
yesterday. So
yeah. We had a reality check. We
yeah,
we good. We ain't that good.
yeah. So I don't know about that, but Embiid is definitely balling out. In regards to me, I'm a roll with it. I ain't gonna spend too much time on it.
Yeah.
Um, wait, hold on. Fuck that. Nope, I'm wrong. I'm rolling with the fact that Ja is an MVP candidate. I'm not rolling with the fact that they are a title contender. I
Yeah.
think the West is gonna come down to 2 teams, Golden State or the Phoenix Suns. And right now, how I was looking with Golden State with Draymond Green with his back issues, Klay Thompson, he trying to get back in the swing of things. Steph Curry hasn't been playing too well the past couple of weeks. Obviously, Draymond Green being out has something to do with that because now
Mhm.
Steph basically has to like create and look for his own opportunities. Even though he does that consistently, but
I
Draymond
was
makes the
gonna
game
say,
easy.
yeah, it shouldn't
Yeah,
be that hard.
yeah, but Draymond makes the game easy for him. You know, because Draymond is
He
normally
does.
like the facilitator of the offense, so Steph he has to handle that responsibility now. You know, so but I think the
I
West is gonna
mean,
come down to Golden State and Memphis. Excuse me,
Suns.
Golden State and Phoenix
Yeah.
because Memphis Grizzlies, although like Desmond Bain, he's playing pretty good. Jaren Jackson is a great 2-way player. You got Dylan Brooks, but outside Ja, like who you can really count on to get a bucket? No, Devin Booker, we already know he's a closer. Chris Paul's capable of closing. Steph Curry's a closer.
And
Jordan
yeah.
Poole has stepped up big time this season. Klay Thompson, if he remains healthy the rest of the way and gets his legs back underneath him, he's proved that he could be a clutch shooter. So I'm not sure
I
Memphis
mean,
has the same
w-
depth of weapons.
yeah, we saw it last season in the playoffs. I mean, Ja can do it all by himself, but this is a team sport, and he needs better role players, better shooters. Like he needs help. He needs
Yeah,
help, plain and simple.
yeah. I mean, like one player cannot carry a team, especially in today's NBA. So that's just how it goes. But next question: Kevin Durant suffered sprained MCL, is slated to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Is it time to panic if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan? Because obviously Kyrie Irving basically came out and said he will not reconsider his vaccine stance due to the KD's injury. I'm hearing that James Harden is open to possibly relocating, and that's basically code word for being traded. He's open to a trade.
If you want to come down to I-95 and stop and get a cheesesteak, we
Everybody know
almost had you last year.
best cheesesteaks are in New York.
You a damn lie. You a damn fucking lie. And you can't even sit up there and say that shit. Come
I
on,
just
B.
did it.
Don't come on,
Let's
B.
rewind it. Let's rewind
Come
it.
on. Come
Best
on.
cheesesteaks are in New York.
Come on. Come on. We cool and all, but I ain't gonna let you say that shit, bro.
What you gonna
Get
do?
out of here with that shit.
Nah, but all right, let's stick to the subject at hand. Kevin Durant, is it time to panic if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan with him being out?
I wouldn't say it's time to panic. But are you like nervously watching your team's transaction and shit like that? Then yeah. Um, just keep an eye out. It does seem like things are falling apart. It seems like since that big three joined together in Brooklyn, it
They
seems
can't even
like
stay on the court together, man.
yeah,
It's crazy.
like it seems like there's one problem after the other, and it's just like you probably wouldn't have this problem if you just went to New York Knicks, but
Mm, well, the way I've heard, he was gonna go to New York, but Kyrie Irving talked him out of it.
yeah, and now Kyrie
That's what
Irving
I
can't
heard.
play more than half his games. So look where
So
that's at. And now you got James Harden thinking about leaving, and there's a reason why he didn't sign that contract in the beginning of the year. And now it's looking like, yeah, he was right. I don't know. I don't. I don't know what's going on in Brooklyn, but I wouldn't say it's time to panic now. I mean, they're number three in the East, although the East is a very tight
it
race right
it
now.
is tight because you look at 1 through 10, 10 because obviously the playing only 5.5 games separates the number one seed Chicago Bulls, who have
Right.
lost 4 games in a row, to compared to the Boston Celtics, who are now at 10 at 23 and 22, and they won 2 in a row. So the margin for error is very slim in the Eastern Conference.
It's up for anybody. So
But
I
I
don't know.
think that
I wouldn't say it's time to panic,
but I
but
think at the
it
Brooklyn
works.
Nets, because it looks like the Brooklyn Nets, they're not gonna, they only a half game out from the number one seed,
Mhm.
and that's with KD out 4 to 6 weeks and Kyrie Irving basically playing part time. Only
Right.
playing role games. So I think that if everybody's healthy by April, when it really counts, the Brooklyn Nets is easily the most talented team in the Eastern Conference. So
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
I say as long as they continue to hover around 1 and 4, obviously, because right now Milwaukee they're in the fifth spot and they lost 2 in a row, but they're only 2 games back. But I think if the playoffs ended today, I think Milwaukee beat Cleveland in the 7 game series. If the playoffs start today, Brooklyn will play Philadelphia, and I honestly think that Philadelphia they basically beat the Brooklyn Nets right
I
now.
think we'll scrape by here.
Yeah, and that's with the rosters as it is. But obviously we got the trade deadline that's going to be coming up soon, and it's unfortunate because it looks like KD gonna miss his second straight All Star game. So
Yeah.
it look like he's not gonna play back-to-back years, he's gonna get selected as an All-Star. He will not be suited up representing the Brooklyn Nets. So that's crazy. But I don't think it's time to panic just yet because the East is wide open. I don't really see like a team that's
Yeah.
separating themselves from the pack.
I mean, according to the stats, Cleveland has a 78.5% chance to make the divisional round and a 15.9% chance to win the finals. So
Semifinals, bro, not division round. You-
semifinals.
we're past best and worst in the NFL, man. We on basketball now. Come on, bro. I just said you want the best jerseys out there. You keep and you fucking up
Well,
on the terminology,
I
man.
told you before we started recording that I'm a little tired. Almost fell asleep. Up writing and doing a whole bunch of shit. B, I'm working. I'm working like Stephen
Yeah,
A. Got shit. B.
yeah. I'll say you're definitely one of the hardest workers I know, man. So I could vouch for that for certain. But let's move to the last question of this
Yeah.
segment for pick and roll because I, I ain't tired. Well, I'm kind of tired, but your boy still got COVID and shit like that. But I still got to make moves and shit. But
Yeah.
Frank Vogel, head coach of the LA Lakers, has come out that basically he's on the hot seat. He's basically being evaluated on a game by game basis.
Day to day,
Now at the
right?
Lakers, yeah. Now after the Lakers got blown out Sunday against the Minnesota Timberwolves, which was a terrible performance by them, LeBron basically sent out tweets apologizing to the Laker Nation about their effort and performance. And last night they played a close game against the Utah Jazz. Russell Westbrook yamped it on Rudy Gobert, basically proved that he did not lose a step when it comes down to athleticism. It's just that I guess the Lakers they're not utilizing him the right way because Russell's an up and down player. Like he's not used to playing in a half court, and having like LeBron James, one of the most dominant players in there is, who constantly handles the ball most of the time. He's never played
Right.
with somebody like that. Even when James Harden was in OKC, Harden was a six man. So but Russ always he used to having the ball, so it's like this is new for him. But get back to Frank Vogel news, like I feel like it's kind of unfortunate because this seems to be a thing when it comes down to LeBron James. Now his first tenure in Cleveland, basically they kept Mike Brown throughout, his time there. Obviously when they was playoff contenders. Now Mike Brown was not their coach initially when LeBron first got to Cleveland. That was Paul Silas during LeBron's rookie year. But over the course of time, it morphed and it was Mike Brown. So all right, so all good there. Then he goes to Miami. Spoelstra is basically still around. Spoelstra been the head coach in Miami since what, 2008,
Yeah.
2009, something like that. All right, he goes back to Cleveland. The dude I forgot the Turkish motherfucking name. Shout out to the people in Turkey. But he was head coach. They basically removed him and they brought in Ty Lue. LeBron James goes to LA. Luke Walton's the head coach. Stays in and work out with Luke Walton. Insert Frank Vogel. Things is kind of looking rough. They won a championship in the bubble. Comes back around. They lose in the first round last year after being a play-in tournament. This year, the playoffs started today. They'll be what, the seventh seed right now, and they'll be the play-in again.
Yeah. They're
And it looks
22 and 22. Damn.
right, and looking like he's on the hot seat. Do you think it's fair? I say all this to say this, basically. That's because I name all these coaches. It seems like wherever LeBron James goes, he's supposed to be considered to be one of the best leaders and this guy that make his teammates better. How come it seems like his coaches are always on the hot seat? Like, is it really a culture issue or is it just LeBron James? Like the LeBron James system does not work for too long.
I don't think we can blame LeBron James in this season.
Okay, hold that thought. So you saying that? So are you picking and rolling the fact that Frank Vogel deserves to be on the hot seat?
No, no, I do think he deserves to be on the hot seat.
I disagree, but I'll get into that after you.
I mean, you have three of the top 25 players in the NBA
Are
running
they?
your I mean, LeBron James, Anthony
I mean,
Davis.
I agree with those guys are clearly top 10, especially when healthy. But Russell Westbrook at this point in time, is he still a top 25 player?
I mean, he's averaging 18 points a game, 8 rebounds, and 7.9 assists through 44 games. He is shooting a 27% usage from his lowest since 2010.
All right,
So
well,
yeah,
all right. Let's be
I
clear for
guess
the
you
audience.
could say
Let's be clear for the audience. You said he's shooting a usage percentage basically consists of like how often you have control of the basketball.
right.
So
So
let's clear that for the audience.
I do think he's still like he's still that Mr. Triple Double. He can still average a triple double. But 18 points per game, that's something that you expect like
As a
a
third option, that's not bad because that's
yeah,
before he's the third option on the team.
right. I mean, we all knew his
Even though with
numbers.
AD being out, those numbers need to go. Like even last night, even though he yammed it, or I'm say yam it for those of you that's not culturally aware. Let me say that he dunked it on Rudy Gobert. Like he basically did like a poster dunk on him.
Yeah, but I
But
don't
his
even think Lakers fans give a shit about that.
they don't,
Like,
because, especially considering the fact that yesterday, like his numbers were not really good. Like they were not your typical classic Russell Westbrook numbers of 20 plus, 10 plus rebounds, 10 plus assists. He basically had 15 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 5-14 shoot from the field, 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. But he was 4 for 4 for the free throw line, so cool something there. But
I don't,
he's not
I don't
looking
think,
like Russell
yeah,
Westbrook. Like he
I
looks
don't
like him
think,
in spurts, but it's not consistent.
I don't think nobody knows who the hell the leader is there. With
It's
Anthony
supposed to be
Davis.
LeBron,
Well,
allegedly.
it's supposed to be Anthony Davis. Like he was
No,
supposed to be
no, no,
taking
no,
the
no,
he was
no.
supposed to be taking the reins over
AD is supposed to be the best
after
player.
that.
See, that's the thing.
No, he's supposed to be the leader.
No, 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 no. LeBron being the elder statements by default is the leader because
Yeah,
LeBron
yeah,
has the most experience.
100%. But I think he was grooming Anthony Davis to take over.
He is grooming him to be the focal point of the offense, but leadership, you have to grow into a leadership role.
Yeah, and
You
I
know what
think
I
that's
mean?
what
Like
he was doing. But
because LeBron James, what do we hear about LeBron James all the time? He makes his teammates better. Everywhere he goes, he wins, which he does. He's won championship every place he's went. So LeBron James, he has more player experience. He basically no players play more NBA Finals games than LeBron James,
yeah,
at least in the modern
yeah.
era. So like,
But no, I totally get that. Like LeBron James is the leader of that team, but he was looking to take a more backseat role. I mean,
yeah,
LeBron James is getting up there in age, so
he hasn't shown it.
yeah, he hasn't
He ain't
shown it,
showing it.
but that's where Anthony Davis is supposed to come in. He's supposed to be like the new young blood, after fresh off of winning a ring, like seeing that I can take this franchise to the next level, bring in the next era, and it's not looking like that.
Well, first of all, he can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
He can't stay healthy. So basically, like, I don't want to like say that like dude is made out of glass because that's what a lot of people say. But you have to take account like this man basically grew like around senior high school. He basically grew like what 8 inches. This is a dude that had point guard skills. Like he's still getting, I guess, getting used to like his new size, his
it
length.
it, it shows that he's scared of the big man position.
Yeah, that he was on record saying that he didn't want to play center. He wants to be a power forward, but naturally, like this is a guy with guard like skills. He's not a dude that wants to bang down low. That's not him, you know.
Look,
But
with that height, you're gonna have to get used to it. Look at
but
Embiid.
yeah, but the thing is with Embiid, it's just a matter of I hate to say knock on wood because I don't want to see the brother get hurt or anything like that. But we all know Embiid, he's not a dude that's gonna play 82 games. He's just not.
Yeah,
And right
yep.
now, he's basically carrying the team right now. So,
We'll
but
see how that looks in April.
yeah, we'll definitely see. But I'll say this though with Philadelphia, like they're proving that although I'm most sure like the record might be a little bit better, they have Ben Simmons, but they are at least still a top four, top five seed in the Eastern Conference without, as we both predicted before the season started. Like
Yeah.
we both had them around the range of where they're at.
Like I said, as long as Embiid is on that team, they are a top five team, regardless of
Oh yeah, for
who
sure.
their who their point guard is. Like that man is just far too dominant by himself
Oh yeah,
to
most
like
definitely.
for the team to slip. But as for Frank Vogel, yeah, it sucks. I just feel for Laker Nation. Like
I don't. The fuck, like Lakers Nation is almost as annoying as Cowboys fans.
as a Cowboys,
They almost as annoying. I say almost because Cowboys fans I think are delusional. Lakers fans are really they're like just because like bro like y'all won a championship 2 years ago. Even though
yeah,
it happened in the bubble, but y'all still like LeBron James doesn't do anything else. He brought y'all a championship because things was looking rough. At
yeah,
the at the whole with Kobe. Even with Kobe, like God bless the dead. Even towards his latter years, the Lakers were a pitiful team.
they were laughing stock,
They were
shelter
laughing stock,
for themselves.
losing 50 plus games a year. Like they were that bad. So we cannot discredit the fact that okay, like LeBron, he did bring them a championship. That's why I say, like, regardless of what LeBron James after that, no matter we want to put asterisk because a bubble championship and all that,
I mean, look,
he
he
solidified
did
himself
it.
as a top three player of all time in my book.
He changed the
For now.
culture for for three cities: Miami, Cleveland,
Yep.
and LA. So
First day in Cleveland didn't work out. He redeemed himself after his time in Miami. Basically, did 4 years there. Kind of like that was his college experience. If you look back at it, it literally was like a college experience. Like he did the whole, um, the decision, the controversial decision segment they did on ESPN when he announced that he was signed to Miami. He taking time to South Beach,
that's a
brought
boss move.
brought them 2 championships in 4 years. That was like his college experience. Went back home to Cleveland, brought them a chip. Goes to LA. First year didn't make the playoffs. He got hurt with the groin injury. Come back with AD. They won the chip. Second year, AD gets hurt. LeBron James was hurt for most of the season. Lakers was actually a top two seed team in the West at the
And
time of
then
LeBron's
drop.
injury. Then they dropped. Basically, won the play in. Played Phoenix Suns in the first round. AD gets hurt. They actually think that AD was healthy for that series. I still think to this day they would have beat Phoenix. I still think to this day. But fast forward this year, the roster changed. This is why I really cannot put on Frank Vogel. Like it's more so Rob Pelinka to me, the GM.
Yeah,
Because basically you had these role players. You had Kentavious Caldwell Pope, Kyle Kuzma. The Montrezl Harrell thing didn't really work out. That's before it didn't work out. You had Dwight Howard. Even though wait, did they have Dwight Howard? No, Dwight Howard
yeah.
was in Philly. Dwight Howard was
No,
in
he
Philly,
he
I
was
think.
in
But he was on the championship team though. He was on the
yeah.
championship team. You had Rondo. All these great fits. Taylor Horton Tucker, who's still there, but all these great fits. Wesley Matthews. You got all these dudes. What did they do? They gut the roster. They bring in Russell Westbrook. Did they need Russ? No, they didn't.
I think the Lakers were looking at that big three to propel them to the postseason, and LeBron James and the veteran experience, playoff experience around them would carry them to a ring. I think that's what they thought.
But the Milwaukee Bucks basically debunked that last year.
Yeah.
Like, are the Bucks a super team? No. Were the
No.
Phoenix Suns a super team? No.
No.
Two well balanced rosters played for the NBA championship and had a great series. That's how it
But
went
most
last.
people look at that playoff as a fluke. So maybe that's what the Lakers discredit that, and they still stuck with this original game plan of getting veteran playoff experience around LeBron
Okay,
James to
okay,
help.
but even a year before, that Lakers team wasn't a super team in
No,
my
it
eyes.
wasn't.
Yeah, they had LeBron and AD, but they had scrappy role players.
Yeah,
The
they
Miami
did.
Heat team, the Heat team that went to the final, that's not a super team. Nobody thought that Jimmy Butler was a top 10 player in the league until that playoff run. Bam Adebayo, he's an all-star, but he's not one of the top 10,
Definitely
15 players
not a
in the
guy
league.
I would start my franchise with.
Exactly, so even the previous year finals, like, wasn't no super team. The Toronto Raptors team that won a championship the year before that, all they did was replace DeMar DeRozan with Kawhi Leonard. better
Yeah, I
player,
mean, I don't
but
think any of us know what the front office of the Lakers were thinking.
I just think that this roster is just not well constructed because Russ can't shoot.
Yeah, they
LeBron,
didn't put a lot of a lot of thought.
LeBron has gotten better at a shooter, but he's not a true like consistent lockdown shooter. You know what I mean? AD is brittle. You brought back Dwight Howard. Okay, he's aging. Carmelo Anthony, solid piece, but he's not a
He's
defensive stopper or anything like that.
yeah,
And he's
yeah.
not really a consistent shooter. So basically, all they need to do is get more 3 and D players, guys that can shoot the three and play perimeter defense. That's what they should have did. But no, they didn't do that. They tried to build basically the 2003 2004 Lakers all over again, and it's backfiring on them. So I
2020
really
to
can't. So,
91.
so I really yeah, exactly. So I really cannot put that on Frank Vogel. I think it's more so on the GM because I think that if this roster was better constructed, then this Lakers team would at least be. They would not be in a playing situation right now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I think it's really on the GM. But and also, you fire him, who you gonna replace him with? Lionel Hollins is not on the coaching staff no more. David Fizdale, is he really a quality NBA head coach?
So
His
you
time with
just
the
gotta
Knicks proved that he wasn't.
pick up the
And
ball boy or something.
and when he was running things, Vogel was out with COVID. The Lakers weren't all that much better with all that much better. Like their record with him and Vogel is kind of like similar. So
Right.
I really can. Well, I'm not quite sure. So let me not say that. All I know is he did not basically prove that. All right, like if you let go of Vogel, put him at the rings,
Yeah, I
that it'll
mean
be
they
a better
might as
team.
well rock with Vogel and just see this through and then
Yeah,
try to
I'll stick with him at least to the end of the year.
yeah.
I stick with him at least to the end of the year. But that basically concludes our pick and roll segment. Let's move on to the fourth quarter, where we're basically gonna give you our predictions for the divisional round of the playoffs. We have 4 matchups to discuss. Hopefully, this week's games is better than Wild Card Weekend, because what the fuck was that? So for Saturday on January 22nd, 4:30 p.m. on CBS and Paramount Plus, we got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans. Who do you think wins that game?
Wait, they showing games on Paramount Plus now?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, okay. All right. What was
Want the
the
pass?
teams
Want the
again?
password?
Nah, I'm good.
we got the Cincinnati Bengals AFC North champions versus the Tennessee Titans. Titans are at home. They are the.
Derrick Henry is playing, I assume.
I mean, he's off IR. I think they saved him for the playoffs, so I think he will be playing.
Um, hmm.
Well, I don't know that for certain.
Before the season, I would have, if you gave me this matchup, I would have said obviously the Titans.
Derrick
But
Henry will play.
looking at Joe Burrow and his wide receiver core, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. They
I'm
really
gonna
came into their own towards the end of the season.
I'm gonna go Bengals as well. I think that this is their time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're gonna make it to the Super Bowl. I think that they're gonna make it at least to the AFC Championship game.
I
So I'm
mean,
gonna go.
I'm rooting for them. So
I'm gonna go Bengals as well. All right, the nightcap on Fox, we got the San Francisco 49ers who pulled out the upset against the Cowboys against the MVP front runner, Aaron Rodgers. Who wins that?
I think you can never count out Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. So I'm definitely gonna go with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Packers as well. The 49ers basically like they literally almost gave that game away against Dallas. Strong first half, ugly second half. I don't think that they could be able to afford to
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that was a
sputter
game was
offensively.
whoever had the ball last won the game.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. I don't think that they can afford to sputter against this Green Bay Packers team. So I'm gonna go with the Packers. All right. So Sunday we got my LA Rams playing against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the reigning defending Super Bowl champions, on NBC and Peacock Sunday at 3 p.m. Who you got?
I mean, do we even have to ask? Bucks. You don't bet against Tom Brady. You don't bet against Rodgers.
I'm betting against. I'm going with my Rams, and you damn right I'm biased. We beat them earlier in the season but we're a better team right now with Von Miller helping us out with our pass rush. And we got Odell who's been balling. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think we pull this out.
Okay.
All right, and our nightcap, we got the Buffalo Bills. The rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. We got the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday on 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS and Paramount Plus. Who we got?
I'm going with the Bills. I like the way they dominated that
Whoa.
game last week. I think they can do it again. I think, but it's going to be
I
really
mean,
hard to.
it's tough to win an Arrowhead, man. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with Kansas City. I'm gonna go with Kansas City. So my prediction for the AFC Championship game would be the Cincinnati Bengals, the young up and coming Bengals, against the potent and dominant Kansas City Chiefs. As for my NFC Championship game predictions, I'm going with my LA Rams against the guy that I think is going to win back-to-back league MVPs, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
I'll second that. I'll second that. I like the matchup between those.
How you second that? But you said the Buccaneers going to beat the Rams, bro. Make up your mind.
I mean, like I said, in the back of my mind, you don't bet against those two. Come on, you really think the Rams are going to beat Tom Brady and the Bucks? I
Any
mean, I
given
know they're
Sunday.
going through a PR crisis right now, but
Any given Sunday. Wait, who's going through a PR crisis?
Bucks.
Oh, it's about the Antonio Brown shit?
Yeah. Apparently, there was a video circulating just now of Bruce Arians hitting a player.
Oh, I saw that. Man, coaches do that shit. Let's not get soft. That happens.
It's not the time to be hitting your players right now. I know that for a fact. Not
I
with
mean,
Williams breathing down your neck.
like these ain't college kids. These are grown ass men, and the player that was involved, honestly, that he had too much of an issue with it. So let's not get carried away. Like, oh, like players cannot. Even though I don't condone violence or anything like that, but I'm just saying that's culture. That's culture in sports. Like sometimes coaches could get very animated and aggressive. So that's just how it
Uh-huh.
goes. All right, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you enjoyed this week's edition of the Out of Bounds podcast. Unfortunately, like I said, we ain't had the big three in full effect, but we had to come back with it for you guys. We couldn't miss 2 episodes in a row. But
Yeah.
before we head on out of here, bro, let's plug ourselves on the way out. Let everybody know what you got going on. As much info as you can. I understand you cannot give it all away, but you got some
Yeah.
sauce to drop on the people. Let's give it to them.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm moving more into broadcast media with a radio show and also looking to secure a couple of other podcasts that has to do with politics and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things. Making my Stephen A. Smith moves over here.
Yes, I like that Stephen A. Smith move. Although the young blood in here, we got to shout out our guy Noah Austin. He's
Yeah,
cool with the photography. He has a lot of great ideas in regards to content, so look out for that. And also follow him on IG for more details. As for me, you can find me on IG at Ladelli Fashionista, as well. I'm the moderator of the True Urban Culture IG page. So if you want to, connect, talk about any type of collaborations or partnerships, sponsorships, opportunities, interviews, stuff like that, I'm the guy to reach out to. Just hit me up in the DMs and I'll get back to you. But that basically concludes this week's edition of Out of Bounds. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Also, please hit that like button because likes on YouTube is like food and water. So we
yeah.
need that. We gotta
Like,
get the word out.
subscribe, share.
Like, share, subscribe, all that. Join the Tuck family. We have a lot of dope content on the way for you guys this year. I'm excited about what's to come. I'm like you, and it says, Donnie, I cannot give it all away, but
Yeah,
just know that we got some things cooking up. So what you see here, if you've enjoyed what you've seen so far with us, just know that the best is yet to come. And I'm
right.
I'm confident in saying that. But we hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the games. Also, let us know your player predictions. Also, you got to pick roll. Let us know should Frank Vogel be fired? Are the Grizzlies a legit contender? What do you think about Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets? Is it time to panic? Should Kyrie basically at this point take the vaccine? I know he said he's not
Now
gonna
that
budge
man
on that.
ain't taking that shit.
I know, right? Even though I don't, I'm the type of person like I feel like everybody should make their own decision when it comes
Better
down to that.
question: should he just retire?
No, Duke can still ball. Why would you do
Yeah,
that?
go do be a humanitarian. Like, just go live your
I
life, my
mean,
guy.
I mean that seems like where his heart is at. But I bet you he's with the Philadelphia 76ers. You wouldn't be saying that shit.
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hope that you guys enjoyed this week's edition of Out of Bounds. Stay tuned for more content with the Tuck family. Subscribe to the Tuck Podcast Network. Also, check us out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, anywhere that's podcasts are available, except for Apple, because they be fucking with us. But it's all good though. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your week, and remember, Hail Hydra.